What is up, guys and gal? It's the Colonel here, and today I'm bringing you everything that you need to master one of the most rewarding and strategic types of games on the market, a MOBA. Short for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena, the depth that these games bring leads to a steep learning curve for many players. That's why I'm creating a 3-part series that's going to take you from total beginner to a confident Giga Chad who understands exactly what you need to do to win. This is part 1, the very basics. We're not going to get bogged down with complicated strategy. Today, we're going to be building your foundation, giving you a simple, clear game plan so that in your very next match, you're going to know exactly what your priorities are. But stay tuned for parts 2 and 3, where we're going to be deep diving into the lesser known mechanics and what separates the noobs from the greats. Let's get right into it. Predecessor currently features 7 different ways of experiencing the game. Standard is your casual 5 vs 5 30-minute mode on a map called Sanctuary. Then Nitro is going to be a sped up version of Standard. No stakes involved, allowing you to test a lot more heroes and items in a much quicker succession, featuring matches around the 20-minute mark. Then you have Ranked, which is the competitive variant of Standard, featuring picks, bans, and no mirror matches. Then the last main game mode to cover is Labs Legacy. This is a throwback to the original Paragon map, featuring a much more beautiful and atmospheric landscape, so check out this video in the top right if you want to see my overview of that map, but be warned that match times can exceed the 30 to 40 minute mark here, so get ready to strap in. Then you have Custom, which is a game mode designed around playing with 10 different friends on the 5 vs 5 standard Sanctuary map. And last but definitely not least, Predecessor features a player versus AI and practice mode game selection. Practice allows you to test heroes and builds in a training environment, whereas player versus AI allows you to play matches against the computer on Predecessor's 5 vs 5 standard Sanctuary map. Now that you know what to expect in each of the different game modes, let's talk about your #1 objective in any match of Predecessor: to destroy the enemy core. Put simply, the first team to destroy the enemy's core is gonna win the game. It's that easy. Everything you do though, every fight you take, and every minion you kill is all gonna give you the power that you need to march into the enemy base and take down their core. But the thing is, you can't just walk right up to it. The core is protected. In order to get to it, you need to fight your way down one of 3 different paths, also called lanes. First, you have the solo lane, the mid lane, and the duo lane. Standing in your way in each of these lanes are towers. These things hit hard, especially in the early game. You can't attack a deeper tower until you've destroyed the one before it. Throughout all stages of the game, a tower typically kills you unless you attack it together with your minions. Once you push through the first 2 towers in your lane, you're gonna find an inhibitor. Destroying these spawns super-powered minions for your team in that lane, which is going to help you push towards the core for your win. So the overall game plan is simple: lanes, towers, inhibitors, core. That's your path to victory. Okay, so we need to destroy towers. But you can't just walk up and punch a tower to death at level 1. You need to get stronger. And in Predecessor, power comes from 2 main resources: experience, or XP, which you can see here. This is going to level up your abilities and grants so-called base stats, which are health, mana, attack speed, and armor. Then you're going to have gold, which is your in-game currency to purchase items while in your base. So how do you get these fancy items? Well, the answer is the single most important skill that you need to learn as a new player. Some of you probably already guessed, but I'm talking about last hitting. Minions are constantly marching down each lane. You get XP just for being near them when they die. This becomes incredibly important once we move over to our macro guide, so pay attention. To get gold, you need to be the one that lands the final blow on the minion. That's called the last hit. This might seem small, but it's everything. The player who gets more last hits gets more gold. More gold means better items. Better items means you win more fights, take objectives, and destroy the enemy core. If you take only one thing away from this video, let it be this: practice your last hitting, please. Before you worry about fighting any other players, just go into practice mode and focus on landing every single killing blow on the minions in your lane. This is going to make you a better player overnight. Now, something important to note is that you're not alone. You have a team of 5 other players, or at least you're supposed to. And each other player has a job to do. So let's do a quick introduction to these 5 roles. If you go solo lane, also called off lane, you're going to be the tough guy, the brawler. Your job is to be self-sufficient early on. Heroes suitable for this job are going to be your tankier, bruiser style heroes. People like Grux, Zarus, or Steel are all going to be valid options for this role. If you decide to go mid lane, you're usually going to be a mage or an assassin with high burst damage. Your main responsibility is going to be to control the center of the map and roam to help other lanes. Heroes like Gideon, Argus, or Rena are all valid options here. If you go duo lane as the carry, you're also called an ADC. You're going to be the team's primary source of damage, but you're also going to be weak early on. Your job is to farm minions safely until you get to your core items and can carry the team in fights. ADCs like Murdoch, Revenant, or Grim.exe are all going to serve you well here. Then the other option in duo lane is the support. You're the protector for the ADC. Your job is to keep them safe, set up kills, and provide vision for the team. The support role is best for a beginner, and you're going to want to pick heroes like Muriel, Decker, Richter, or Narbash.
Come on!
If you're the one hero who doesn't have a lane, your home is going to be the jungle. One important note here is that if you pick the jungle role, you do not get a potion like the laners do. Instead, it's replaced with the jungle smite to help you clear camps and secure objectives. You're also going to be fighting neutral monsters to get your gold and XP instead of the lane minions. Your job is to be the wild card, appearing in lanes to surprise enemies. This is also called a gank. Heroes suitable for these roles are also tankier, bruiser styles, but you can also get away with going more damage-focused heroes like Kalari or Countess. Chimera is going to be a good starting point for a bruiser, with Rampage serving you well as a tank. If you feel like those are too easy for you, try your luck with Yuri. She's a very high mobility and high damage dealing assassin. Some of the best advice for new players is don't try and learn all of these roles at once. Pick 1 or 2 of them that sound cool, and focus on learning the heroes and matchups just for those roles before you move on. Then going back to the topic of the jungle, this isn't going to be a place to hide. It contains powerful objectives that can completely change the course of the game. Let's talk about the 2 big ones. First, there's the Fangtooth. This big scary boy lives in his own pit on the duo side of the map, and when your team kills it, everyone on the team gets a permanent buff. The first one gives you an extended buff duration for things like the red, blue, and river buffs. The second one gives you out of combat movement speed, and then the third one gives you both physical and magical power, as well as physical and magical armor. The more Fangtooths, the stronger your team becomes. This becomes a huge advantage. While more sustain-based junglers like Chimera can single-handedly take down this creature, it's a good idea to pick it up after your team has secured a kill. Use that short advantage to group up with 2 or 3 other players and take down the Fangtooth. After a grand total of 3 Fangteeth have been killed, regardless of by which team, a more fearsome version of the Fangtooth is going to spawn called the Primal Fangtooth, granting a temporary team-wide damage burn effect. The next big boss to talk about is Orb Prime and its mini version. Killing this monster is going to grant your team a massive temporary buff that makes you and your minions around you much stronger. This helps melt enemy towers, and taking Orb Prime often leads to the final push that you need to end the game. Always be keeping an eye on the timers for these objectives. Grouping up with your team to take them down is a key part of winning. While Orb Prime spawns at 20 minutes, the mini version of it is going to spawn at 7 minutes, granting the same buff, but only for the player that last hit the mini prime. Okay, so we've covered a lot at this point, so let's quickly pull it all together and do a recap. You've just loaded into the game. What's your simple 2-step game plan for the first 10 to 15 minutes, also known as the laning phase? Priority number 1 is farm more. Focus on last hitting, cause every single minion you kill is a victory. Your goal is to have more gold and XP than your direct lane opponent. Don't chase them across the map for a kill if it means you miss 2 waves of minions. Farming is king. An average match is designed to last around 20 to 35 minutes, meaning you're rewarded for just playing smart. And priority number 2 is gonna be die less, please. You have no idea how important this is. Every time you die, not only do you give the enemy team gold and XP, but even worse, you lose the gold and XP that you could have gotten by being in lane. While you're waiting to respawn, not only did the enemy get the gold, but he's still in lane, farming and getting further ahead of you. It's often better to back away from a fight and stay alive than it is to risk dying for a potential kill. Try to develop a good understanding of power spikes and power differentials.
Oh shit, not good.
Your opponent is 2 levels and 50 last hits ahead of you, chances are you're gonna lose a fair and square one-on-one. So finally, tying everything together, your goal is gonna be to destroy the core by pushing down lanes. Your power comes from your gold and XP, which you get primarily from last hitting minions. You also need to know your role and work with your team to secure major objectives like Fangtooth and Orb Prime. For your first few games, just focus on that simple mantra. Farm more, die less. Stay a little more attached to your lane early until you get help from your team. Take down the first enemy tower, and then when objectives like Fangtooth or Mini Prime are available, ready up to assist your jungler to take them down. You now have the fundamental building blocks of a Predecessor. This is just the beginning though. Now that you know what to do, it's time to learn how to do it with skill. In part 2 of the series, we're going to dive into Macro, the hands-on game plan, objective-based perspective of Predecessor. Knowing these advanced strategies I'm about to show you will skyrocket you through the ranks. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and feel free to join the community over on Discord. The link is in the description. I also stream on Twitch Friday, Saturday, and Sunday starting at 7, as well as all day Wednesday. Thanks for watching, good luck in your games, and I'll see you in the next one.